Hello. The assignment today is boxes, as you'll see from your Moodle page. And I've got 3 boxes here set up for drawing. And I've got 3 separate little picture planes. 3 boxes. And then I've got 3 separate little picture planes. Today, we're going to focus on what is called composition. Composition is literally how the objects appear in the picture plane. So usually we have a really big picture plane, 24 by 36, and so that's our picture plane. So when I talk about take it off the picture plane, take it to the edge, push it off the edge, I mean the edge of the paper. And then so what I've done is made 3 rectangles of the smaller version of our large one. And we're going to do what's called thumbnail sketches, quick sketches, gestural sketches, or compositional sketches. You'll see when people are talking in our classes, all these different names come up. What they are is fast studies to look at your still life. You set up a still life doesn't mean you have to draw every bit of that still life. Sometimes you set it up and just go in to the most exciting parts of it and use your full paper to cover that. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do what's called overall composition. We're going to take the boxes off the page, and let's get started. Okay, so we're looking at our boxes. I'm going to just draw 3 fast compositions of different sections. Then I'm going to decide which one is most interesting, and we're going to expand that for our contour study. So first I'm going to move this box because it's blunt on and I don't like it. Alright, there we go. So basically I'm going to look at this one, and there's a box here, and I'm going to draw really fast, and I'm not going to do a lot of detail. I'm just going to suggest where elements are, and I'm just going to do as much as you need to see those elements. That's a box. That's the inside of the box here and here, and these are the flaps, and that's inside the box. And I think it's probably got to get fixed if I blew it up, but that's a good beginning. Now this box is sitting on top of another box, which is right here, and this is not right, so let me erase this before I go any further. This is at an angle. The whole thing is at an angle. And then the next box comes through here, and then the next box top comes here, and it comes this way, and there's a flap here, and there's a flap here, and we'll take that flap right off. And inside here you're going to see the small amount of flap. You're going to see inside the corrugation, so that's actually going to have like corrugation happening. This is a full flap, so we don't have to worry about that. This is a space that if I had a bigger paper, you would see it. And you're going to see the top of a little box inside, kind of like that. Let's make sure my rule of thirds. You only see 2, but still I know it's down there. And that would be the small box inside. So that's a fast composition. Let me darken it, make sure you can see it. But that's my basic composition. Quick, fast compositional study. Now let's do another one, because I kind of like this, but I don't think this is terribly exciting. So let's go back and look at my composition again, my still life, and let's find another element that we like. I do like this big box here, because I like the inside outside. So let's see, maybe I'll come all the way down here with that inside outside, because I like the dark inside and the very light outside. This is a flap. This is the box itself going off into space. This is a flap. And you see the inside of it now at this point, very much so. And you don't even see this flap because I think I'm too far. You get a little bit of that flap maybe right here. And then this is going to be, I think I'm going to make this a flap. So I think I'm going to move that wall back. And this is going to get moved in, because that will push my box back into space. If I push that back, pull that out, flap, flap, and another flap, and a flap coming at me. And again, that's going to have that later when we get into detail, that would have that corrugation. You'd be looking into the corrugation. All right. This you would be looking into the corrugation as well. And now down here, you have an. I like this intersection. You have the box. You have the box itself that this small box is sitting on. It's not there. That's my issue here. I've got to fix. This is wrong. So this is good. This is where this helps. This is at this angle. So I've drawn this at the absolutely wrong angle, and I knew that the moment I couldn't intersect them correctly. So let me fix that. In, down, angle, angle, angle. That's better. Now, my next box intersects right through here, which I like. And I like this where the flap comes out, and the flap is right here. And it's a big, large flap. It's going to take up that whole ground of space. You're going to really see that corrugation. You're going to see it disappear here at an angle, a little bit of perspective going on there. And corrugation here. And you're going to see intense darks through here, some nice darks through here, and some nice lights here. So that's my second one. Let's see. I like that one more than this one. So let's try another one, the third one. We're going to look at the baby box inside the other two larger boxes. Maybe we'll start there and put that one in. I kind of like the angle that it's at, so I'm going to start with its angle and bring that little box in. If I like the angle, maybe not, I'll change it now before I go any further, which I kind of too sharp an angle. I think I'll clean it up more like that. That's better. And find its back end. It goes back in space here. And I need to make sure I'm doing the rule of thirds and not getting you away, but I got to make sure it's relatively straight. There we go. And then inside my box, you can see my wall and you can see my inside. Okay? So that little box is inside of another box that sits right here and has an interesting wall of break right here. This would be a flap. This would be another flap. So this flap is slightly angled. This flap is slightly angled up. And this would have an overhanging flap, which would come right here, which almost protects the box a little bit, the little inside box. And again, this is very similar to this. It's just further up in the picture plane. And it would have that corrugation happening right along here. And I really made this messy for you. Sorry about that. Okay. My little sheets are moving about. Alright. And this, again, would be my light source. So this would be very light. You do see the back of my box inside here. And you see actually the corrugation where the box flaps overlap, actually. And it's made that way. You have some beautiful shadows here and here. And all inside here is going to be very dark. Inside this little box is going to be very dark. So now that I've got 3 fast studies, I have to decide which one I think is most exciting. And compositionally, following the line with the compositional line here is not the best choice, but I like it better than this one, and I like it better than that one. So I think I'm going with this one. So let's quickly make those changes so that we can draw this up and show you how to use both the fast sketch and the still life. So it's going to be only partially in your view, but that's okay. You've seen me draw it up. And I'm just going to leave it hanging there, and when it gets in my way, I'll just lift it or move it out of the way. So we're going to use that as a reference and that as a reference. So we're going to go back to this box and decide how big now this box has to be in this picture plane. It's going to be good sized.
Okay, we don't need to start over. They can hear me. Do you want me to get tight to the picture you're drawing, or the whole thing so they see the little one too?
No, keep it there, I think, so they can see both.
Alright, they can only see part of it.
They can only see part. That's fine. Okay, now, I'm trying to do this quickly. I think that's fine. That was actually, because if this is all the way here, I want to just draw this. I just want to, you know something? Guys, this is in my way visually, and I'm getting confused. I'm just going to draw it again. What I had was this box, and I may end up with a little more info, which is fine. This big box is going to go here, and then that's its flap. This is its flap here. It's going down. Inside is a bunch of other stuff we'll deal with later. This box comes across here, and I much prefer to just do it by gut instinct. That box is at an angle here. It's going to go here. It's got to be the same as that. It's going to come down here. It has to have it has to push off here. It may actually get cut off right here because my ratio is not perfect. I didn't do the math, guys. I didn't do the math. All right, I like that. That's good. And then this comes up at an angle. So that's my box. It may be a tad bit long, but I like it. So we're gonna leave it. That's the artist's choice. When you're making a drawing, you decide, do I like that? Yes. Follow your gut. Always follow your gut. Okay, now go in. This is the top of the box. Now I'm bringing in the flap. The flap's a little bit buckled because it is a used older box. It's been hanging on the porch for a while. And then this box is here. You may have babies across the street crying. But that's okay. Happens. They cry once in a while. They've got 3 babies next door. So. And here we go. We're finding our flaps and trying to get them at the right angle. Okay. And this is got to go here. This flap is going to come here. Oh, I like this. This is starting to work out nicely. These are my flaps. I think this one needs to be cleaned up a tad bit more. Okay. This has got to get a little longer. Yes. There we go. Now inside this box, we're going to bring the inside, which is parallel to this line. Just like, you know, the parallel, if there was a line, line, line. Let's step back and see if that's good. I think that's good so far. Okay. There is some interesting cast shadow things going on here that I'm going to draw up really quickly because later I'm going to need them as my reference when I'm shading. So this is all shadow. This is all in shadow. This has a corrugation that we'll be able to see when we start drawing. There. And it comes in at an angle here. You will see a little bit of corrugation here. Right there. I'll just make the squiggly line to indicate. You don't see it here because it cuts off. You see it a little bit here again, but you only see a little bit of it. It's narrower back here, and this is another perspective thing. And it widens there, and that's a corrugation thing again. And we'll clean that up. Don't worry. You'll see when I start shading that is needs to be cleaned up. That's a little bit too. And I've decided this is a little too long. So now that I'm drawing, and I'm going to truncate that thing. All right. Now, there is the box. This is the box it's sitting on. The box it's sitting on dissects that way, comes out there. So I have to make sure this line and this line are parallel. And to do that, I have to step way back here. Yes, I think it's okay. Because it's actually going to dissect right across here. See it? And this, there's a back of a box back here. Somewhere. It's hard to see, but it's there. I think. Yeah. Alright. Now, this is the spot where the box opens, I was wrong. I said it was here, and that's okay. While drawing, you find your space, you find your availability of what's happening. This is a little long, so this is actually going to go off the page. This is now a flap coming out straight over, and this is all a flap. This is inside. This is a flap. This is a nice straight flap. This is a newish box. And this is going to have the widest flap that's going to be looking at you, because it's the biggest one. It's the closest thing to you. When it gets a bit close to you, it gets usually larger. If you want it to appear like it's behind or far away, make it slightly smaller. That helps. That's also a design thing you'll be dealing with. And this is going to come at a slight angle, narrower here, slightly wider here, so that we can create that edge. Everything in here is very dark. There is actually a beautiful shadow that I can catch right here, where this is dark, but this is the darkest element in the still life. Okay, so if you want to back up a little bit, or I'll bring this down, you can see that I changed it a bit because it worked better larger here, but it's basically the same composition. It's the box at an angle laying on top of the empty edge of the box, and I am missing one line that's important. Right, this box, this angle has to move. I messed it up again, guys. Let me fix that. There you go. There you go. That's good. That's good. That's good. I need to get in your way for a minute. There we go. So, top of box, flap. Flap, where the flap is pointing at you, under the flap. Flap, side of box, inside of box, flaps, outside of box. Background space that hopefully we don't got to do anything with when we're done. Alright, this is our fast contour study of boxes, overall composition. Notice I took it off the page. I would like you to try this anytime through this whole process of the fast studies up to the full-on contour study. Send me an email, send me images. I'll give you all the help I can. And log into our help sessions. You'll see them on Moodle. All right? Thank you.